I've figured out for me, Garrett and I talked about this a little bit, but I think I figured out for me mentally, I'm just either burned out or just not in the right headspace to play my best golf right now. Like I just don't. I don't know what it is, but it's again, it's probably all the other stuff of life going on. Like it's just taking its toll on everything. But for me personally in golf right now, I'm trying because I didn't have a good club championship. It was terrible. I mean, the first round I hit great shots, and again, more of the same, just putts on the edge, putts slipping out. And I think I was coming to the realization that for whatever reason, with all this stuff I've got going on outside of golf, I'm just mentally just not sharp. I'm not focused. I'm not with it. Like I totally missed a thing I was supposed to attend on a Monday night because my brain is just everywhere in a fog and not, you know, and I felt so bad about that. So it's just like everything's coming down at once. And I'm just like, golf is just not, it's not on my, it's like not even making me happy right now. Does that make sense? Like I'm not even enjoying it. So I'm struggling with that personally. And I don't know if I need a break from golf just for a little bit, or I don't know. I think what I'm going to try to do is just reframe. And again, the reframing, like, why am I here? Like, I always know why I'm there. I always have that goal, but reframing how I play the game, whether I start to try to learn how to hit more bump and run shots in the greens, kind of like the old timers do, like where they just roll it up to the green and just see how creative I can get with different shots. And I saw this, I was preparing for a class the other day, and I saw this quote by John Wooden, and he was talking about how athletes come to him, they're all nervous, right? I get to the shoot their game winning free throw, and I'm just so anxious and nervous, and I can't even perform. And he was like, but you should be excited, right? Like you've been playing and practicing your whole life to get the opportunity to do that and to try it, and just be excited about that you have the opportunity. So I think I'm going to try to play a new style just for fun, just trying to get out of this rut and try to make it more, I don't know, creative or something, just to get myself out of this kind of slump. That's kind of where I'm at with everything.
I've been through what you're going through right now, and the only thing is just time. You can't wave the magic wand and get through what you're going through. You just have to go through it.
I was really grateful to get out and play with Tony the other day. We had a really good time. It's fun. Tony and I know I've told you this, Tony. I don't know that I have ever played a lot of golf or played closely with somebody who was as equally skilled as me. Like, and I don't mean like that as I'm so good, nobody's ever, I'm just saying like equally matched up one side and down the other. I think you're a half an inch taller than me. I hit the ball 4 yards further. You've got 1 mile per hour, probably more ball speed, where you shoot within one shot of each other on every single 9-hole round we play. I mean, it's like we are lockstep everywhere we go. And I mean, I've played with players that were a lot better than me. I've played with people that I was a lot better than. And I've played with people that were the same skill, but just played a different game. Like we might both shoot 37, but I would have, 8 pars and a bogey, and they would have 1 par on the entire round. But Tony and I play a very similar game, and I'm pretty sure at Solis we have been either tied or one shot better or worse than the other in all 3 of our rounds in our best ball matches. The other day you let me back in at the front 9. I was down 4 going to 7 or 8, and then I think I made par and he made double, and then on 9 he hit it 2 feet out of bounds, and I ended up making par there. So I got back into it there. So then we carried over the front 9 bet to the back 9 bet, and I was up 1 going to 18, and he told that story. But I mean, we're just lockstep with one another all day long. So from my standpoint and Tony's standpoint, trying to get better at the game, it's a great exercise. But at the same time, from the the human side of it too. I mean, we finished up and we went in and had a couple of beers and talked a little bit, talked about life. I mean, nobody's life's perfect. Everybody goes through tough times, and it's good to have that on the back end of the competitive. Rip each other's throats out for 4.5 hours and then go have a couple of beers and put your arm around them, kind of thing. It was a lot of fun. But I would like to, and we've talked about it some because we talked after the round the other day. I've been there too, Tony. And I think I was telling you this, Tony. The difference in you and I is I didn't acknowledge that I was in a funk for like a year and a half. I just put blinders on and, macho man, I'm not going to admit that I'm hurting kind of thing. And I went and played absolutely lousy golf for 18 months before I finally admitted, like, something must be in my head. I don't know what it is, but something is in my head and I'm not able to play good golf. But, you acknowledge the challenge right now, and all three of us can acknowledge what is making it harder to enjoy the game. I don't necessarily know what the answer is to do it, to how to enjoy it. I think it does kind of start with maybe taking a little pressure off of it and just having a little bit of fun, trying to find joy in it in some way or another. If that's, going out and trying to see how low of a score you can shoot with nothing but a 5-iron, or if that's play left-handed. I don't care. Do something to have some fun. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, that's one of these things, again, not to throw us out there as the guinea pigs, but I hope that whoever's listening, we're not the only ones who have other things going on in our lives that might distract us from our golf game and playing our best golf. So what I hope we can learn from it is that 4 hours on a golf course should be a time to enjoy something, not a time to add agony somewhere or another. So I wouldn't mind having a segment just on that. How do we just enjoy being out there? It's a great game. It's, we make it so hard. That was my prayer the other day, was I just want to leave this golf course happy one time. You know what I mean? I don't care if I shoot 81, 91, 61. I just want to leave happy and feel like I had a good time and feel like I hit some decent shots along the way. How do we do that so that we don't turn the game we love into a reason to hate life at the end of the day?
Yeah. So I've got 2 fun events coming up the rest of this month, I think it is, or one this month, one next month. Again, my brain is so over, I have to look. But one of them is the 4-club challenge. So you get to pick 4 clubs and you play 18 holes and you see what you can do. So that's a fun way to de-pressure it, just to make it more unique, more of a unique experience, more of a one-off. And then I got invited by one of my best mentors. I worked for him in summer camps and stuff when I was in college, and I had him as a professor in college, and he's just like a second father figure to me. He reached out, and him and another good friend of his who was also a mentor are going to be coming to Charlotte to come play in a fundraiser golf tournament. They want me to play with them. So that'll be fun. I probably haven't seen those guys in 15 years, face to face. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Where are they coming from?
Texas A&M.
Nice.
Yeah. So that'll be a good time. Yeah, that'll be a good time. But yeah, I was thinking about that as you were saying, what are some ideas? And I do think there is something to be said for different types of challenges, taking half the clubs out of your bag and saying, I'm only going to play with a driver, a 7-iron, a wedge, a putter, and a 5-iron, and just seeing how you play. How would you navigate different shots when you're in between clubs and you don't have a full number? And a lot of people might find out that they like the game more because rather than putting all this pressure on flying a ball in the air and landing it, it's got to stop a perfect distance. I know guys who are in their 70s who go out there and shoot 75, 76, and they just hit this little 200-yard dinker off the tee, and then they just dink it again, and it stays in play, and it just rolls up to the green, and then they 2-putt and they get out of there. So I think there's a lot of fun to be had in taking the game from your standard 14 clubs, 4.5 hours, 18 hole, write it down, and putting limitations on it, putting different scenarios. They have the games with the poker chips where, like, you hit a tree, you get to keep this poker chip. If you 3-putt, you got to hold the 3-putt poker chip until someone else 3-putts, or you make a birdie or something like that. Like, there's all kinds of ways to make the game more fun. Even instituting, if you're playing with people, just some silly drinking games, right? Anytime someone says their catchphrase, or anytime someone does that thing they normally do, he threw a club, everybody drink, something like that, just to, and then that hopefully will help the club thrower realize what an ass they're being, right? Because they're chunky, I think
when the rest of the group can't stand up straight because you can't stop throwing clubs.